Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hello, Wildcats. It's your boy, Kev, coming at you like, no, not a bird, no, not a plane, but coming at you like a Justin Trudeau blackface photo that seemed to just exist in an infinite amount, and for that, I thank God. So thank you, God, for proving you are real by doing that one for us. And this is just a disclaimer to let you know that we are a comedy and crime podcast, so even though we do cover many serious cases and true events, we do like to throw in some inappropriate jokes and some dark humor every now and then. So if you're not a fan of mixing comedy and crime, then this is not the podcast for you. If it's your first time listening, thank you for checking out the pod. And I think that's about it. We're going to keep it quick and simple. So thank you everyone for listening. Be good, stay safe, and laugh at the dark stuff. #Wildman. I brought this girl back to my house. Made love, then we fell asleep on the couch. Then I woke up, farted in her mouth. She was pissed off, like, what was that about? Come on girl, it's time for breakfast. I made bagel bites, gotta eat them quick. Cause after that, girl, we going to the movies. In my dad's room, watching Goonies. Then I'm jacking off every time they show Data with his gadgets, always on the go.
Huh? Hiya! Come on down! Come on down! Come hang with the brothers tonight, yeah! Minnie Mouse slept with my best friend. Had jokes on that bitch, I got that motherfucker to sign a prenup! Yeah!
Alrighty, welcome everyone to the Brotherscommon.place, a comedy and crime podcast where we cover monsters, murders, mysteries, and more.
Hell yeah.
And before we get into today's crazy spooky topic, I want y'all to meet my favorite little sugar gliders.
What's going on, guys? This is Tim, or rock, scissors, scissors, as they call me at the library.
Wait, what? I don't get it.
Because there was no paper or anything involved. It was just rock, scissors, scissors.
Oh, I thought it was going to be, they called you cock, scissors, scissors when you worked at that woman's prison.
Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, I was going to use that for next week, but thanks for ruining my next week one. I literally thought that up like within like a minute too, by the way, guys. So it wasn't my best.
Hey, what up? This is Spence, also known as the guy who was, I was out riding my horse a couple days ago. It was a really hot day because the weather's really warmed up around here lately, and my horse needed a drink, so we went to the local drinking well. And right as the horse was about to drink, Andrew just popped out of it, like some kind of troll that lives down in the well. And he was wearing all, like, leather, but, like, the butt part of the pants was like missing, and he had like some fuzzy handcuffs and a whip, and he was like, "Spence, come down in the well with me," and I was like, "No thanks, man." And then Andrew said, "I swear to God," he said, "Well, I guess this goes to show that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't handle my kink."
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why I inflicted that story on you, but
It was necessary.
That was great.
Fuck.
Oh, hey, this is Toof, or as I'm known now in local forums, the guy who stole Hitler's NES and sold it to that bald, fat fucking Pawn Stars guy, or the guy who sold the Nintendo.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to go register the Reddit account Hitler's NES right now.
Oh, fuck yeah. You need to.
And it's your boy Kev, a.k.a. the Dirty Dog, or as they used to call me when I was a partying turtle that used to hang out with this big old slut, Michael Andaho.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you.
Hey man, my mom got better though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she started working and stuff.
Instead
Dude,
of what weapon did he have?
He had the nunchucks, dude.
What if he had the gardening tool?
So it was in the hoe.
Michael
yeah,
Andaho.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
That hoe was a slut. Dude, Tim, you know what my
Hey,
intro...
come on, my mom.
You know
Wait,
what my
what?
intro was going to be?
What?
I'll just do it how I was going to do it. And it's your boy Kev, a.k.a. the Dirty... Oh, fuck. God damn it. Sorry, guys. I just knocked over this glass of apple juice in the hole. Please tell Mom this is not her fault.
Fuck yeah, Adam song. I love it.
But alrighty, Wildcats. As you all know, it is spooky September here in the Commonplace, and we're going to be continuing on with that scary holiday and cover an unsolved disappearance. That's right, guys and gals and shallow howls. It's time to travel back to 1987 to tackle the disappearance of Dale Kerstetter. And apologies to my dad, unfortunately, Dale Kerstetter is not a NASCAR driver, regardless of how much he sounds like he is. Well, God damn it, Kev. I ain't listening. All right. Oh, Dad. And before we start the episode, I do have a shout out real quick to Kale and the Australian Juggalo group for listening and checking out the pod. So that was super cool of him. He posted it on that Facebook group. And also, I need to clear up a couple things and thank two people. Because I kind of thanked them in some previous episodes, but I lumped them together in a way on accident. But we actually had two people that went to the Fox Lake sign and sent us pictures. Like, two people did that, so that's pretty badass. So a very special thank you to our boy Brian Rowe and also Joseph Harvey. So both of them did that. That was super awesome. So thank you very much.
Joseph Harvey Gordon Levitt.
Yes.
Oh.
Harvey, I'm
Batman.
Dude, I added Mark to the Discord group. And I made him an admin.
remember the story you said about when they were watching fucking or was it The Strangers? Wasn't it?
Shit.
And when they were watching The Strangers and they were saying like somebody left the room or whatever, and he was like he was trying to tell them that like the dude looked through the window and was like, Harvey, I'm Batman.
Yeah. So there's a part in Batman Forever where
during The Strangers they said that.
So in Batman Forever, at the very beginning at the circus, Two-Face, he says that he's gonna like blow the fucking circus up with that big giant ass bomb unless Batman tells him who he really is, like who his real identity is. And while everyone's freaking out and screaming, Bruce Wayne stands up and he goes, Harvey, I'm Batman. And no one fucking around him hears that. No one knows that he said that.
Who do we have before us? Gotham's finest. Well-to-do. Influential. Surely one of you knows who Batman is. Hell, odds are one of you pasty-faced twits is Batman. You have 2 minutes.
So Mark was watching The Strangers, and he like one of his friends left the room and asked like what happened, and he's like, oh yeah, dude, one of the guys in the mask put his face up to the door where the eye hole is, and he said, Harvey, I'm Batman.
But what if that actually happened? How much better a movie would that have been?
Ah, shit. So alrighty, guys, before we get into this case, is there anything you want to mention?
No, I don't think so.
Are you gonna mention the Discord, I guess, or do that at the end?
Oh yeah, we do have a Discord server up now. I'll put the link of it in our description somewhere. I also posted the link of it on our Patreon, and I forget where else. That might be it actually. So yeah, we'll put some links online in places so you can find it. But yeah, we do have a Discord server up now, so it's pretty cool. We'll
Cool
probably
stuff.
talk a little bit more about it at the end.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So our sources for this episode, most of it will come from an episode of Unsolved Mysteries and also the Wikipedia page on the Unsolved Mysteries episode. Also, Charlie Project, that website has a lot of good information on it. Olean Times Herald, McKean County Cold Cases, and also a Lost and Found blog by Crystal Dawn. So that's going to be most of our sources for this episode.
Yeah, nice.
Crystal Dawn, that fucking new dish soap cleaner.
So alrighty, so to start off, this case is going to be taking place, and this is completely by accident. Oh shit, never mind, I thought today was the 13th. September 13th, 1987. So, yeah. Today is the 12th. I was thinking it was that day. But September 13th, 1987 also just so happens to be the exact day of the theatrical release of the movie titled Sammy and Rosie Get Laid.
Oh, fuck. Yeah,
That's
one
a
of my
fucking
favorites. The classic.
That's a movie?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is. I didn't want to look it up because I feel like whatever it is, it's not going to live up to the standards I've created in my head based on the title of it. But yeah, Sammy and Rosie Get Laid came out that day.
It's a classic. You should watch it. It's got some of the best fanny action of all time, especially for a late 70s movie.
Oh, wait, you've actually seen it?
No.
Oh, shit.
I don't watch porn with bushes in them, Kevin. Not anymore.
So actually, yeah, this event, it is going to begin on the night of September 12th. So, yeah, that is today. And then leading into the morning of September 13th, 1987. But before we get into that event, we're going to talk about our main person of interest real quick, Dale Kerstetter.
How can I do it? How can I do it?
I'm waiting because I feel like I have jokes, but they're not funny.
He was being rude at the family reunion. Oh, well, why? Why was he? Well, he was just yelling at our sister, and hell, he cursed at her too.
That's a good one. Okay, that's a good one. Fuck yeah. I was working on something, but it was like curse. It was gonna be like Steve Kerr, and then like Stephen Curry, but I couldn't put it together.
Yeah, there's something there, but I don't have it.
So Dale, he was born on March 7th of 1937, and I'm not exactly sure where he was born at, but this case takes place in Bradford, Pennsylvania, and more specifically in McKean County. And according to the Unsolved Mysteries Wiki, Dale grew up and spent most of his life here in Bradford, except for the time that he spent while in the Air Force. So he was probably most likely born here, would be my guess. And Dale, he's just a little guy. He's standing at the height of 5'4" and weighing in at 130 pounds at the time of his disappearance. So he's just kind of like
he's a little Spike Dudley. It's fine.
Yeah, a little Spike Dudley, a little Frodo.
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with being Spike Dudley, okay, guys?
He's sort of like Frodo, but he's like not a bitch. So,
but Spike Dudley
and
was
his feet aren't as hairy.
Spike Dudley was at some time cruiserweight champ.
Dude, Spike Dudley should he just reminded me of Jason's dad. If Jason's dad was a wrestler, that's what it kind of reminded me of.
I have met Jason's dad, and I have never gotten that, but I've met him like twice.
Let me look at a picture of him.
Dude, I have fucked Jason's dad, and I don't think that.
No, I don't get it. I take it back. Okay, I gotta cut off.
But have you also fucked Spike Dudley?
Fuck, dude, this picture of Spike Dudley, he kind of looks like...
Wait a minute, Tim, I've never fucked them in the same place, though.
Oh, well, myth busted.
And at the time of his disappearance, Dale was 50 years old when he vanished. And the sources, they list him as having brown eyes, but a couple sources list him as having blue eyes.
Don't we all, though?
Which is kind of confusing a little bit. And then he had receding brown and gray hair, and he was a heavy smoker.
Is you sure it wasn't your dad?
Yeah, dude. As soon as in the video they show a whole carton of Marlboros, and I was like, Jesus, man, it's just my dad. But no, they didn't mention Civil War mustache. So, and Dale, he was known as your average man that loved and was loved by his family. He was also very compassionate, honest, fun. He loved the outdoors, and he was also a hard and well-respected worker.
So he was Abraham Lincoln.
Ooh.
Do you remember your one freestyle where you began it with, "Yo, I'm Abe Lincoln and I'm stinking drunk"?
Yeah, of course.
How did the rest of that go?
Dude, I don't even know. That's fucking deep, man.
So even though he was known as a hard worker and a well-respected worker, there are some controversial statements about him as an employee that we'll get into a little bit later. Now, Dale, his mother Eveline, she stated that he was faithful to everybody and that he didn't lie, and he also did not believe in lying. And this sounds kind of dumb, but just looking at pictures of him, he seems like a good dude. Like, I know you can't base it off just a picture, but I don't know, something about him. He seems like a nice...
Sometimes you just tell.
Nice dude. Yeah. Like, I was looking at this picture the other day, and he seems like a pretty good guy. Elliot Roger. I'm just joking.
like I was just looking at the picture the other day, and I was like, man, this dude seems like a really cool dude. Bill Cosby.
I think you weren't wearing your glasses. That's actually Antonio Brown you were looking at.
Oh, whoops, my bad. So I was watching the Antonio Brown show.
We're all watching it right now.
Like, I know you can't really judge a person by their picture, but I was looking at this guy, and I just knew instantly that it's just Clint Howard.
So you couldn't get your erection to go down?
No, I thought I was looking in the mirror.
God
so I was really
damn it!
confused.
I was about to say that.
Dude, what the fuck, man? Clint Howard, dude. Holy shit. Respect.
Dude, honestly, I wish Clint Howard and Adam Sandler traded roles in The Waterboy.
So do I, dude.
So it'd be the exact same fucking movie.
I wish in Independence Day, when all the aliens came down, they just looked like Clint Howard.
Just have Will Smith whoop that dude's ass.
And what the hell is that smell?
I was supposed to be at a barbecue. He's fucking up Clint Howard.
Dude, if I ever have fucking absolutely nothing to do, I'll fucking completely edit the Avengers so every time they say Clint and it shows fucking Hawkeye, it's gonna be fucking Clint Howard.
Wait, did you say if you have absolutely nothing to do?
Dude, in the newest Avengers, Clint Howard has Hawkeye's hair. Oh shit!
All this needs to be done.
All right, so for those in the audience who don't know, who is Clint Howard?
He is Ron Howard's super fugly brother, who's awesome though. I like him.
But yeah.
God, his fucking known for movies is literally Apollo 13 and Waterboy. Or I guess in Waterboy his name is Paco.
Okay. No, they never gave him a name. No, bullshit.
Paco?
Don't give him a name.
P-A-C-O.
Don't give him a name. No, he never got a name. He was fucking God that says God didn't give me good looks or a fully functional brain. That is him.
Dude, guys, Clint Howard's birthday is April 20th.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh man, now I'm just looking up shit on Clint Howard. So here's a quote from Dale's son on him. Quote, "He's just a great father. I mean, there wasn't a kid in the world that wouldn't want to have him as their dad." And then Dale, he has been divorced for 10 years, but he had a good relationship with all of his kids, which he had 6 of in total. He had 5 daughters, 1 son, and then 2 grandkids. And then his son, he was a teenager that was living with Dale during this time. Toof is just posting pictures of Clint Howard now in the chat. And then back to his employment. Dale, he was working at the Corning Glass Works in Bradford. It was a 112,000 square foot electronics manufacturing plant. The Corning Glass Works.
Wait, what was the square footage of that place?
112,000 square foot.
Okay, all right. I think he said 112 square foot. I was like, wait, what the fuck? He worked in the shed that Crazy Eyes lived in fucking. Fuck, what was it?
French fries and Oreos. And then Dale, he had been working there for 27 years as a maintenance man and then also as a security guard. But there's a little bit of conflicting details on this part as well, which we're going to mention a little bit more about some of the conflicting stuff. But Dale, he's sometimes described as being a well-respected worker, like we mentioned. But in the Unsolved Mysteries episode, one of his managers describes him as a, quote, marginal employee, a slow worker, and somebody that he occasionally had problems with. But then the manager, that is also named Dale, by the way, he says that. He's like, well, he's kind of a slow worker. He's a marginal employee. But then he immediately goes into the story about how Dale Kerstetter fucking risked his life to save a bunch of workers.
No fucking way.
So this marginal, slow employee, he saved about half a dozen people, and not only that, hundreds of thousands of dollars for this company. And the manager calls him like a shitty worker.
For one, fuck you, asshole, because he had your back.
Yeah.
Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag
But
Wildman.
do you also have the story of how
Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, fuck yeah.
In this incident, somehow, which I always thought like, okay, so somehow a fucking forklift had rolled under a stream of hot molten glass, and that stream was pouring down on the forklift where the propane tank was. So that fucker is just like ready to ignite and blow at any moment.
Yeah.
But fucking hashtag Wildman Dale, he says no fucking way. And this is how a goddamn hero is made. He like runs at the forklift, hops on it, and then drives it out of there, like out of the molten glass. And everyone else is kind of just like standing around. But by doing that, he saved like the lives of all the people around, as well as hundreds of thousands of damage. Like, that's just a fucking super brave thing to do.
Like, motherfucker's probably making like minimum wage, and he just did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
going anywhere near molten glass
Yeah.
is not something I'm going to
And
do.
this manager was like, oh, he's slow.
Yeah.
No, fuck you. Just saved you, you idiot.
That's pretty
Yeah.
Dude, I wouldn't even fucking pick up the pace if my boss told me.
Yeah. Dude, I would have watched that shit burn, and I just would have moved a little bit and just watched everybody else burn.
Dude,
To be honest with you.
this sort of reminds me of like one time at the restaurant when I was like in the kitchen prep side.
Oh,
and
I
then,
love this story.
There's this little goblin woman, this little goblin troll lady who is
Cindy.
Yeah, who's dead now. Rest in peace. Well, she didn't die because of this incident, but I mean, this incident probably didn't help at all.
We don't know that it didn't help the story.
So something on the dish tank, like where the steam valve is, fucking blows up, like just fucking blows off this thing. And it's right where all the sundae glasses are. So all of a sudden, there's this huge puff of like smoke and mist everywhere and water going everywhere. And then all this broken glass. So within a couple seconds, you can't see anything at all. And instead of like running over to help her, I run out of the room and I just go, Cindy? Yeah, dude.
Like
'cause-
Cindy, okay?
It's fucking misty like you're riding on the fucking Iron Dragon.
Oh my god. Dude, that's
Yeah.
such a fucking good... Hey, Cindy, you okay?
I mean, you know, fight or flight. And this boy had fucking wings that day.
Fuck
But
yeah.
Tell the story about where Cindy was hungry.
Oh yeah, one time. So this little, like, I feel bad saying because she's dead, but she did just kind of resemble like this little goblin creature.
Yeah, she...
And
But she was also terrible and mean.
she
though, too.
she was a mean old goblin bitch too. Like she didn't really speak English. She just made noises. She's like,
But she also did speak English. She just chose not to. Like I've heard her talk before.
She had a husband.
Yeah.
and but anyway, she would always try to sneak over and eat food that was on the stove. And I was behind this box, like where the mixer is, and I guess she didn't think I was paying attention. And she comes over to where the stove is and starts with their fucking fingers, little goblin fingers, reaches into the pan and starts eating these crumbled sausage things. And I just like stick my head out the side and I'm like, hungry, Cindy? And she smiled and was like, like she makes a noise like a fucking like
an NPC in a video game.
This all probably should be saved for like a Brothers episode or like a extra episode or something. But tell them the story about the butter.
Yeah, one time I think it was me and CJ. We were on Tank.
It was.
And I had this big butter packet. And for some reason, I don't know why, I'm like, I lower it down into the trash can so it won't go anywhere. And we're just looking at it and I squeeze it really hard and the fucking butter explodes. flies up over both of us and lands on Cindy, like right in Cindy's hair and face, like on her head, and she doesn't know. And she just kind of like looks
hours.
over.
It was a while.
And eventually throughout the day, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Cindy, I got a little bit on you. And I got the butter off her hair, but I didn't get the butter off her face because I just didn't want to. I don't know.
It was a while. Like maybe not hours, but it was at least 1 hour.
But yeah, so anyways, back to Dale being a fucking hero. I imagine since he was divorced for 10 years, he was probably a single dude at the time, and we don't know for sure what happens yet. He does disappear, but I'm willing to bet there's a chance that he just drowned in all that coworker pussy that he got whenever he saved all those lives. But alrighty, moving on to the day. It's the night of Saturday, September 12th, and Dale, he is arriving to begin his third shift security job at 11 p.m., and sometime during that shift, from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., $250,000 worth of platinum pipe would go missing. Just straight up stolen, vanished, kifed, gone. And not only that, but Dale Kerstetter was also nowhere to be found. So at 7 a.m. the next day, on the 13th, the next security guard arrives at the plant for the shift change. So it's Sunday morning now, and this is when John Lindquist, the security guard, arrives. And here's a quote from John. Quote, "He usually sat right inside the door, and he wasn't there. So I walked in the cafeteria, and I see his lunch pail sitting on the table. I happened to pick up the newspaper, and there were the keys. So then I looked in his lunch pail, and I see that everything was there. He hadn't eaten."
Red alert.
So sometime during that night, Dale disappeared.
Hey, I've taken fucking hour-long shit breaks before, so you never know.
And I don't know why, but that John Lindquist, his quote kind of cracks me up. He's like, yeah, I just happened to look under the newspaper. I just happened to find some keys to his lunchbox. I just happened to use the keys on his lunchbox. Just happened to open it and peek in. Found a sandwich.
The only thing I can think of, and I don't even have a funny joke to it, but like that his favorite drink is Sunkist.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's all I got.
I knew this kid in school who drank so much fucking Sunkist all the time, like every day, all day. His fucking two front buck teeth were orange.
I mean, let's not talk about how we met and stuff. But I mean, it's fine.
So just a note here. Right away, he comes in. They learn that Dale is missing. They don't find out about the platinum piping that has gone missing yet. Like, they find that out a little bit later. So right now, all they know is that Dale is gone, and it looks like he left all of his shit behind. And then a little later on in the morning, out in the parking lot, they realize that Dale's pickup truck is still out there as well. So this is when the police are called in to investigate what the hell happened to Dale. And a few odd things are found. Inside the plant, we mentioned his lunch is still there and all the food is inside. There was nothing missing from his lunchbox. Inside the truck, his keys were still in there, like they were in the ignition, but the truck wasn't started. And most shocking of all, Dale is a heavy smoker, but on the truck seat, he left an entire unopened carton of cigarettes.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of fucking money, too. That's like $40.
So they're like, all right, no way this motherfucker left on his own free will if he's just going to leave this carton of cigarettes behind.
That's like $40. Nobody's leaving that shit.
Fuck no, dude.
And also, Two's been platinum piping my mom for a while. So,
yeah, dude.
like, come on now.
I just been bronze piping her, nothing.
Yeah. No, my mom's been telling me, like, Two's been platinum piping it. She's just like, yeah, aluminum, is aluminum one? Is there aluminum? That's what Kev's been doing.
Yeah. I'll get better. And then also sitting on his truck seat, there's an empty gun holster for his .22 caliber pistol, and also his backpack is in there. So if Dale did indeed take off on his own, he left everything behind. So it seems a little weird. And then in the afternoon on that day, the police, they bring in a good old boy, a fluffy German shepherd, to search and sniff around and look for some scents and tracks of Dale.
Yeah.
And they believe that maybe Dale, it's a pretty big plant. Maybe he suffered a heart attack or some other medical condition. Maybe he fell somewhere and he's stuck, or just somewhere hidden and unable to get any help or assistance. So they were hoping that maybe they'd be able to track him or find him before it was too late. But they don't find him anywhere. The dogs are sniffing around. They're hot on the trail, and they are tracking him, following his normal security routes. And then something a little bit odd and kind of out of the ordinary here. The dogs lead the police, following Dale's scent, to a place where he normally doesn't go since it's not on his security route. But the dogs, they end up tracking him to the second floor where the glass kiln was located in an area known as the tank.
I was gonna say, what if the dogs kept leading him to the restroom, but they're like, this is the restroom where Andrew keeps shitting. Like, yeah, the dogs love fucking 5 a.m. Taco Bell.
Like, oh shit, we accidentally got on the trail of Andrew, and we've been following the scent for a while. Oh, here we are, right in front of the store, the Exchange.
Oh my God.
I mean, it makes sense that Andrew would go somewhere where they make glass.
What's that?
Glasses.
Because he needs it for his glasses.
I'm not even gonna lie, I thought that was a fucking meth joke.
And then on the kiln, the dogs actually find Dale's scent on it.
Nice.
However, it wasn't found anywhere else in the building, like in this building.
Fuck yeah, we found him. Case closed. Well, ain't that some shit? He was just working on the glass factory.
So this tank area where the kiln is, it holds the expensive platinum piping here. And even though there would be $250,000 worth of platinum piping that was stolen, this area wasn't part of the security route.
Oh, why not? It's like the most expensive fucking part. The entire fucking place.
I'm guessing that they weren't actually worried about it because it's like someone's going to have to sneak all the way in here and then remove shit and then cut through a bunch of stuff just to get to the piping, and then they'd have to actually cut the piping out of here. So it'd be a shitload of work.
Yeah, this is 1970, what, 9? 78?
87.
Oh, 87. Okay, yeah, crystal meth was around. Yeah, it could be done.
And then you'd also have to know the piping was there. But they do have camera on the kiln, just not where the piping is.
The kiln of the first flame.
Yeah, I don't know what they do with the pipe afterward. I know I just lay the pipe.
I mean, they have camera on the kiln, but not on the kill.
No.
If that's what happened, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe
Nor on the kilt.
Oh. Was it Roddy Piper? We'll never know.
Was it Mel Gibson?
So the trail ends there at the kiln, but there's no sign of Dale anywhere. So next they come up with a mind-blowing idea, actually. They're like, hey, wait a second. Why don't we check the surveillance footage?
They didn't even fucking try that first.
I love that they went straight to they're like, calling the fucking dogs. Get the dogs!
Dude, that is so fucking good, man.
Get the fucking dogs! And then they're like, well, maybe we should check the footage. Check the cameras. Check the surveillance footage, guys.
Maybe they should have played Who Let the Dogs Out. When the glass floor was hot, the glass was melting. Ooh, ippee-i-oh.
And somebody stole the piping. Hey, where did they go?
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. I just had a new idea for our song about the Name Your Price tool. So when it's like, tell us what you want to pay, hey, 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 and the trombone goes, blah, 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 and you say, we'll help you find coverage options to fit your budget. Then we just all do finger snaps while a choir goes, statements coming at ya, statements coming at ya. Yes? No? Maybe? Anyway, see your practice tonight. I got new lyrics for the rap break.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
So the good news, they have cameras set up at the plant, but the bad news, they only have 3 cameras, or 3 or 4 cameras, and the plant was like a pretty big place. What did we say it was? 112,000?
Yeah, around there.
Square foot or something like that.
No.
So they only have a couple cameras. So they're like, well, let's fucking check that, see if we can find anything on it. And I've downloaded some of the security tape, but the quality is such shit. Like, it looks like a VC, like an old VHS tape that someone recorded over like 100 times. Like, you can't make anything out.
It looks like John Candy's first movie.
But in the Unsolved Mysteries episode, they do their best to try to recreate what is seen on the tape. So they do their own reenactment of what happened. And the very first thing they see on the tape is that in the back area of the plant, there is a masked man that is walking around, which is strange because Dale should be the only one there at this time. But yeah, a dude in a straight up ski mask and fully covered up so that no one would know who he was. He's just kind of fucking walking around in the back.
This is Jason Voorhees. This is Jason Part 2.
Pretty scary. So at around 11:15 p.m., which is just 15 minutes or so after Dale's shift started, that's when the masked man is first noticed walking around. And then the masked intruder, he meets up with Dale, and they can be seen talking. And whether or not this was a planned thing is up for debate. And because we don't know exactly what happens. There's just a part where they're walking kind of next to each other talking. So they walk and they talk for a bit. And since the footage isn't really clear, we don't know if it's friendly or violent or what. But then the next camera shows the masked man alone. He walks towards the kiln area. And then he starts opening up the tank where the platinum piping was and then removing it.
Okay.
So Dale and the masked man are only seen on the one camera at the one time where they're in the back area talking and walking. That is all you see of Dale. And that's the last time Dale will ever be seen.
Oh, shit.
It's just that little bit of footage. But the masked man is seen a couple more times on camera. And one thing that the investigators and people at the plant watching the tape picked up on, the masked guy, he seems to know his way around the plant really well. He knew exactly where to go to get the tools that he needed for the job, and he also went straight to where the platinum piping was. And keep in mind that this is late at night, just after 11 p.m., so it's pretty dark, and there's not a lot of lights on inside the factory either. But there's definitely a certain part of footage that is heavily up for debate as well. People are wondering, is Dale really being coerced? Which is a word that they use like 100 times in this case. Or is he simply pretending to be coerced by this masked man? And we'll mention that when we get to the theories a little bit. But
okay.
people think that pretty much the theories are going to be that he was in on it or he wasn't.
When you mean coerced, like this dude just like showed up at the plant in a mask, was like, hey man, could you do me a favor? Or you meant like they planned this way beforehand?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because we don't know. Because he's only seen at that one time walking and talking with this dude in the back.
Yeah.
And then they walk out of the shot, and he's never seen again on any of the cameras. Only the masked man is seen, and he's alone.
Hey, true
and the
that,
rest
brother.
of them. So here's a quote on the camera footage, and this is from the personnel manager at the plant. His name is Patrick Foley. Quote, "The first thing I saw was a masked man in the back of the plant in the one area. When I saw the masked man on the tape, I was very alarmed. At first, I thought, there's been some foul play. Dale's involved in foul play, and he probably is missing. And then Dale Kerstetter came back and met this masked man in the back of the plant. I had a very empty feeling in my stomach. I said, what on earth? And then, as I continued to review the tapes, I saw the masked person come back out and go up to the tank area. Then I was extremely anxious because at the time I realized that not only do we have a missing employee, there was a good possibility that we had missing platinum in the plant. Whoever removed the platinum from the tank was extremely familiar with the plant. Everything in the plant, they knew exactly where to go." So they don't find out about the missing platinum until reviewing these tapes and then checking a little bit later. So all they knew at first was that Dale was missing.
Dude, I love this, like, Mr. Burns boss who was like, oh, our employee's missing, but what about that platinum, too?
What's
like,
funny
not giving a fuck
is all the workers, like the managers, they have nothing nice to say about Dale, really, and they're the ones that are like, he was in on it. He was in on it. But the family are the ones that are like, no, he wasn't.
Oh, my
God.
God.
We'll get to some more reasons why. And as the masked man and Dale walk out of the back room and into a different part of the plant, they're seen together walking out of frame. And right as Dale is walking out of the frame, he looks up directly at the camera. This little gesture is heavily up for debate because it is not known if he was looking up at the camera, secretly signaling for help, or, quote, he was doing it to flaunt his crimes.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yes.
No one could be stupid enough to look up at the fucking camera and then do something. Well,
we'll talk about it. But he legit is just walking with this guy who's wearing a mask, and he just looks up and stares at the camera while he's walking out.
We're looking at the picture right now, actually.
Yeah, that's a recreation from Unsolved Mysteries. To which his daughter says, if he was involved with this crime, why would he walk directly in front of one of the few cameras in the plant with the masked man and then look up directly at it? Like, it doesn't make sense. And if he was part of it, she believes that they probably would have covered the camera up or blocked it with something instead of meeting up in one of the only rooms with a camera.
Yeah.
And him working there for 27 years and being a security guard, like, he knows where the cameras are. So I don't know why he would meet up with them in that room if he was in on it, which is a pretty good point, I think.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if you're going to commit any crime, I mean, there's dumbasses out there. But if you're going to commit any crime, like, you don't want to do the time. So you're going to figure out how the fuck to bend the rules in your favor.
That's right.
And that involves sneaking the cameras.
Yes, sir. And it seems that the bosses or managers and higher-ups at the plant, they all believe Dale was in on it. And by him looking up at the camera, that's his way of saying, quote, that's just Dale Kerstetter saying, here I am. I'm taking your platinum and there's nothing you can do about it. That's what one of the higher-ups said. That's what that look meant.
Like, I don't know the rest of the case, but if his fucking Dale guy turns up dead, then these guys are fucking dickheads for saying all this shit. Continue on.
And here's another quote from his daughter, Wendy. And she believed that her father was an innocent victim. And according to her theory, she believes that Dale, since he was doing security that night, that he possibly saw the masked intruder maybe on one of the cameras or just heard him or saw him walking around, and then that's when he went to go investigate. Quote, if he had planned on taking off anywhere, why would he bother packing a lunch? I mean, just little things like that. Why buy a whole carton of cigarettes? And he smoked all the time. I mean, he would have taken the cigarettes.
And also, like, it's super obvious for a guy to walk into a store, the security guard a factory, the security guard confronts him, and it's just like, hey, I've got a gun, you're following me or I'm shooting you. What are you going to do? Fucking, like, walk with him? Or are you just going to be like, nah, I'll be right back, dude, let me grab my cigarettes.
Yeah, that's true. And I believe his family, sometimes, like his kids would sometimes come visit him. I mean, they're not like kids, they're adults. And they said that none of the doors were locked or anything at night. Like, it's a big plant, so you can just kind of like walk in and stuff. And then the next final thing that is witnessed on the security camera, which is also up for heavy debate, the very last footage that is seen shows the masked man. He is pushing a manual forklift through the plant, and on the forklift is a big heavy bag, which is about the size of a person.
Whoa.
However, inside the bag could be the platinum pipes that he cut out and is stealing. Or did he murder Dale, stuff him in the bag, wheel him out on the lift, and then dispose of the body elsewhere? Because we really don't know. We know that he took the platinum piping. We don't see him getting it out of the building or how he got rid of it or took it with him. And then we also don't have any footage of Dale after he walks out of that one room. So we have no idea how Dale or the platinum piping left this plant.
A dead weight body is pretty heavy if this is a decently large guy. I mean, if they're going to hire him for security, I don't see him being too small.
Why would that be at the end of the forklift? You would hide that.
No, I mean, I could see him using the forklift just to, like, transport the body. Like, you just want to hide it somewhere differently than where the fuck you killed him at, I guess.
Well, the reason that they think if Dale was killed inside the plant, he has to either take out the piping, or the pipes, or Dale's body. Like, it can only be one of those two things. But whatever he takes out on the forklift, it is about the size of a body, and it is in like a canvas bag. So we don't know. We don't see him come back in the building either. We just see one camera showing him pushing it, and then him going through just that room, and we never see him again after that. So, yeah, we really do not know. But we'll cover a little bit more of that in the theories. So let's remember, Dale, he is never seen again, alive or dead. We really have no idea what happened to him. But before we get into the two main theories, we do have some important information that we need to cover. Some info that may possibly sway your current opinion on what happened. So, number one, Dale was said to have been in debt, $30,000 to $40,000 worth of debt. This is what a lot of the, I think it's the business people, like the managers and stuff, are saying. Like, yeah, he was in debt tens of thousands of dollars. However, we don't know if that's money that was like owed right now, or if it was just collectively like what he has left on his truck or on his house together, you know? Like that makes a huge difference, but we don't know the details.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, if that's the case, anyone who's bought a house is in debt way more than that.
And they're
So
all
it's
a
like-
suspect.
And it really, that's not even a big deal.
Yeah.
Or it could be a serious deal if he owes $40,000 on something right at that moment, you know? So we don't know the details. So it could either be a huge deal or not a big deal. But according to his daughters, they said that if Dale was actually hurting for money, then he would have and could have asked them for help, and they would have been more than happy to. And he never mentioned being in any money trouble at all.
I think if this guy was hard up for money, he would just do the thing that anyone in 1987 does and just rob a bank.
Yeah?
Armed and dangerous.
Or maybe some platinum piping?
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Now, according to his employers at the Corning Glassworks, Dale was recently a tradesmith there, but he had been cut from the program, and that's why he was doing security at the plant instead. So even his employers, this is what they're saying. They're like, because of his job or role switch at the place, because he's now doing security, they cut his pay. So he's making $5,000 to $7,000 less a year than he was previously. And I just want to say, like, his employers, they all sound like complete assholes in this thing. Like, we don't know the full story and all the details, but in the episode of Unsolved Mysteries, they literally just talk shit on him. And it's like, this guy's worked here for 27 years. He's taken a huge pay cut. He's saved the company hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's saved multiple people's lives. And they just talk shit on him the whole time.
Dude, what about saving the fucking factory money and lives and you get a pay cut?
Yeah, and it's like, honestly, if Dale did steal this shit, I don't even blame him. Like, it sounds like he gets no respect from them at all, even though he's been there for 25 plus years and all that. He's been working there for almost 3 decades, had his fucking his pay cut. You know, I'd fucking rob these fuckers too. Hashtag Wildman, Dale.
Hashtag Wildman.
Hope you're alive, buddy.
If this place is still fucking open, I swear to God, I'm going to go fucking rob them. If it gets robbed in the near future, if this place gets robbed, you bet your ass it was me.
Hey, Kev,
joking.
you mean
Fuck
bet your
yeah.
ass it was us?
Oh,
Because
Oh,
I'm
fuck
in
yeah.
too, baby.
Actually, but if the cops are called, you bet your ass it was Andrew.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it was Andrew and Dale.
It was never not those two. Andrew and Dale.
Shit. And here's a quote from the lostandfoundblogs.com that we mentioned, our source earlier. And this is on Dale's work experience at Corning Glassworks. Quote, Dale began working at the Corning Glassworks plant in Bradford, Pennsylvania in 1959. Corning made long glass rods for electrical resistors. Dale's job was a journeyman at the plant for most of his employment, but in the last several months before his disappearance, Corning had been downsizing. So several people lost their jobs, and it was rumored many who were let go also lost their pensions. And Dale, he had been a reliable employee for many years, so his job stayed.
Okay.
God, this place sounds fucking awful, doesn't it?
It sounds terrible. It
God.
sounds fucking terrible.
Does it? It really makes me just want to go there and just, at the very least, steal, like, I don't know, their computer paper or something. Anything. Just anything.
Like just go crop dust somebody or somewhere.
Any way to inconvenience these people that own and run this business, I want to do. Oh, what the fuck? Someone shit in the coffee mug. We run out laughing. Yeah, hashtag Wildman. We got you, fucker.
Hashtag Wildman.
Wrong
And,
building. Oh, shit.
Oh,
Our
shit.
bad.
What was this? UNICEF? And the last thing we will mention, this is from charlieproject.org. Quote, one of Kerstetter's daughters noted that the security guards at the plant were supposed to check in every hour, and between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m., like, he never checked in. So if they're supposed to check in every hour, you think maybe someone would have noticed that he hadn't checked in
He
at
hasn't
all?
checked in
But
from
you would've
11
thought
p.m.
so,
to
yeah.
4 a.m.?
Well, his shift was 11 to 7, so I don't know why. The quote said to 4, so I'm not quite sure. And so, moving on to theories, to summarize these theories, some believe that Dale had witnessed the masked man enter the building at some point, and then he went in to investigate. Then after seeing him and possibly hearing his voice, there's a chance that maybe Dale recognized it and realized who this person was. And so possibly this masked intruder was either a current or previous worker at the plant, and maybe they waited until Dale was the guard, since he pretty much has the physique of Grandpa Phil from Hey Arnold. But regardless of what happened, the masked intruder ends up killing Dale and then taking the body out and disposing it later on. Some people believe that maybe he was thrown in the kiln or murdered and placed in there, but I'm pretty sure the camera was on the kiln, so they probably would have seen it. But I'm not 100% sure though, so maybe the camera doesn't actually show the kiln and just shows the piping area.
I forgot how fucking tiny this guy was. I thought he was, because when he said security guard earlier, I was like, oh, well, that's why he needed the forklift. He's probably a big guy. And then I fucking forgot his measurables. He was probably in the fucking lunchbox underneath the sandwich.
Yeah, he was 5'3", 5'4", 130 pounds. So to continue on with this theory, the dogs, they did follow his scent to the kiln, but I don't know if the kiln was ever emptied and searched for like bone fragments or any remnants or clues or anything. But that is the main part of theory number 1, is that he was killed by this masked intruder.
Okay.
Theory number 2, he was killed by Ted Bundy.
Theory number 2, which almost everyone interviewed believes that the first theory is true. They think that he was murdered. And then going back to the beginning of the case, Dale, he was known as a big family man and an honest person that didn't believe in lying, which leading into this next theory would have Dale being the complete opposite of that. Theory 2 is that Dale was in on it the whole time. So with this theory, he knew who the intruder was and was helping him steal the pipes, and then they both took off $250,000 richer, maybe went out of the country, or who knows. But with Dale doing this, that means that he would be leaving behind his entire family, all 6 kids and 2 grandkids. And keep in mind, his teenage son is living with him at the time.
Yeah, I'm not buying that for a second.
And here's a quote from his daughter, Wendy, on whether Dale Kerstetter committed the crime or not. Yeah, his daughter, Wendy, and the rest of the family, they just want to know if he's still alive or not. She says, quote, he had 6 kids and 2 grandkids, and to do something like that and take off and not call any of them, just take off and never talk to your kids again, I can't believe it. And she would also say, like, she doesn't care if he was involved with the heist. She just wants to know what happened to him, although they pretty much all assume that he was murdered.
Who knows? Money can change a man.
It's true. But I like Wendy. She seems pretty cool in the interviews. So #WildWoman. She says some stuff and does things that's pretty cool. And then his other daughter, Penny, this is her quote. Quote, I think he knew who the person was that came in. I don't think he expected to die that night. I don't know if he was involved in it or not, but he knew who it was. Which I think kind of makes sense, because the person, the intruder, had to have worked there, whether previously or currently, because they go straight for that kiln and start removing shit and grabbing tools and cutting out this platinum piping, which I don't know why you would know that was there or why you would go for that first unless you knew it was there. And then that would explain maybe him and Dale talking, and possibly he didn't plan on killing Dale until he realized, oh shit, he knows who I am. But like I said, we don't know. That's just a theory.
Yeah.
His son kind of has a different view, though. Here's what his son said. Quote, I don't think he'd do it unless he planned on coming back someday. If he's alive, which I think he is either in Canada or Australia. And I figure in 7 years, when the statute of limitations is up, he'll come back scot-free and they won't be able to touch him. Unfortunately, though, it's been way more than 7 years since he disappeared in 1987, and he would be in like his 80s now.
Yeah, good theory, kid.
His son. I think I'm counting down the days till Dad comes back with all that money.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's sad. That's
damn
mean.
it. God damn it.
Really
Poor
sad.
kid. He's the only one who's like, I think he's still alive. Now I feel bad. Poor kid. I'm sorry.
Counting down the days. He's as old as his dad now. I'm counting down the days.
I bought a bunch of those Christmas calendars with the little chocolates in it, and I have it set up for every month.
Wait,
every
little
day
chocolates.
Every day I take a little chocolate out and just counting down the days until my personal Christmas. I'm sorry, that's fucked up. That's
Hashtag
fucked.
Wildman.
Hashtag Wildman.
Wait, real quick. No, we can't just brush off this. Calendars with chocolates?
Yeah, you never had those? It's like a December calendar, and every day you peel like a little door open. There's a little chocolate behind it.
So if I look up calendar with chocolate on Google, I should be able to get a good view of this.
Yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Calendars with chocolates on them?
Advent calendar?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've never had that.
I'm fighting to stay awake, guys.
Advent calendar.
Oh, it's like almost like 3D. Like you literally pull it like a little tab off that has chocolate in it. Yeah, I've never had that.
Yep.
I'm glad at least you guys had a childhood.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Timmy's fighting the fight against sleep right now.
We're almost done. And here is a final quote from the Unsolved Mysteries Wiki on the case. Quote, results unsolved. Dale was declared legally dead in July of 2014. Police have investigated several leads in the case, including that Dale was double-crossed and killed by a former co-worker who helped him steal the platinum, or Dale was placed in a gas well near the plant or in the plant's furnace. Dale was killed in a mob-related incident. However, none of those theories have been confirmed. In fact, authorities have noted that the furnace was not turned on that night, meaning that it could not have been used to dispose of Dale's body. His whereabouts remain unknown.
Oh, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so that's all. That's everything we have on the case. It's he's straight up vanished.
So you did say that pipe, $250,000 of pipe was stolen.
Yes, $250,000 of platinum piping was cut out and stolen.
I wonder how big that was. Like if it's enough to fit in that canvas with his body.
Possibly, or he could have maybe pushed the body out on the forklift one way and then gone out or come back a different way to get the piping. Who knows? Could have made Dale tell him where all the cameras were or something. Or I mean, there's only a couple cameras and it's a pretty big place. So
they said that after those two met, like Dale and the bad guy, that he wasn't seen on camera except one other time pushing that tarp, right?
So Dale is seen once on camera that night in the back room, like where the masked man is. So the guy in the mask is seen first, and then Dale is seen meeting with that guy, and then they walk off together. The masked man is then seen in the kiln room alone cutting out the piping, and then later on is seen one more time alone pushing the forklift, the manual forklift with a big body-sized canvas bag full of something. And it's like the perfect size to where it could be a bag full of the piping or it could be a body. We really have no idea.
It's the perfect crime.
Yeah, it really is. It was never found out. I will say his employers kind of seem like assholes. They're just like, yeah, he's fucking in on it.
What about he might have saved the company more money than they've ever lost?
Yeah. Imagine if that blew up and fucking 6 people died.
Yeah.
Like they would have been, he literally saved them millions.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of thousands of damage in property, and then the death of 6 people. And then they cut his pay. They cut his fucking pay and made him a security guard. He's only 130 pounds. Like kids could fucking rob him.
I guess if he did save 6 people, a security guard is kind of fitting.
That is true. The fucking little rascals could fucking beat the shit out of him and rob
the ultimate Bruce Willis role.
So, is there anything you guys want to mention about this case, or your thoughts on any theories or anything before we shut her down?
Primo went to bed, by the way.
I'm looking at the picture where you say it's a reenactment. The picture you can find online where he's looking at the camera.
Yeah, those are all recreations by Unsolved Mysteries. Yeah, like I found some of the footage. You can download a bunch of the videos, but you really can't see anything.
Huh. Interesting.
Well, if he didn't even turn on, here's my theory. Even if he didn't turn on the kiln, maybe his body was put in something that would, like, it's a big factory, so like it could melt him down or molt him or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then the guy just walked out the pipe.
They did mention a gas well near the plant, like that was a theory, but I think they said like they checked all these out, but they've never found any sign of them anywhere. No body or anything.
The dogs stopped at that second floor glass place.
Yeah, so the dog scent led up to the kiln, which is where the masked man was alone. Like Dale was never there. Well, unless the cameras, I don't think the cameras actually show the kiln. I think they just show the piping area.
Okay.
So maybe he could have been out of sight there. We don't know. It's kind of frustrating.
Unless you're the owners, then you just say fuck them.
Yeah. Like, oh shit, cool. We got rid of Dale. Fuck the piping. But yeah, anything you guys want to mention before we get into the Patreon shout outs?
Kind of sucks that a local hero who saved lives kind of went out like that.
Yeah.
Who also was possibly stopping a robber, or at least trying to avert.
Yeah.
Like, he could have also stopped that guy from killing other people there.
But I mean, imagine working for a place for almost 3 decades and them cutting your pay and then giving you a shittier job. Even like after saving so much there. And then they just fucking blame everything on you, show you no respect at all, and just shit on his name. I mean, we don't know. Maybe he was involved. Honestly, we have no idea. He possibly was.
Maybe he's in Canada right now.
But just the fact that they don't even like think about that being an option. They just straight up disrespect him and shit on as much as they can. Yeah, he's pretty much retarded. He's a shitty worker. Yeah, he did save a bunch of people's lives and single-handedly saved this company. But, he's fucking retarded. Like, that's pretty much what they say. He's a slow worker, marginal employee.
During the interview, they can't spell piece of shit without D-A-L-E.
So, alrighty. So, our Patreon shout out for this week is Vagina, which I think is Gina from the Snapchat group. Okay. Which, if that is her, she's an Australian listener. And I think that she is the fucking wildest one of the entire bunch. Like, all of her Snap videos, they're fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like, the cars blowing, like, on fire, her hunting, like, warthogs and shit. Like, all the crazy, like, whenever there's crazy shit, it's always from her. So, hell yeah, Gina, you're badass. Hashtag wild woman. Yeah, thank you for upgrading. She went from the $1 to $5.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's cool as fuck. Always enjoy her snaps and everyone else's snaps in the group. Always look forward to them.
We love them.
If you want to join the Discord group, you should do that. We'll post links in other places. I know I posted on our Patreon page, which I think is just patreon.com/the Brotherscommon.place. But you can find the link to it there. But we plan on doing some cool stuff with it. Like, we have a bunch of text channels on there, some voice channels. We want to do some bonus episodes with some listeners through there. And it's just, it's really cool. It's kind of, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, Spence, you want to do the closing shit, brother?
Yeah, let's do the closing shit. So I mentioned at the beginning that I was going to go register the Reddit account Hitler's NES, but I checked and somebody already beat me to it.
Oh my God.
And they posted in reddit.com/r/Brotherscommon.place, which is our subreddit.
Oh my God.
So if you want to see what they said, you'll have to go there and sign up. You can also sign up at our Discord, which, let's see, what's a good way to get people to Discord? You know what? First, you should subscribe on Facebook or Instagram or message kgreen6337 on Snapchat, and then we'll send you a link to the Discord and you can join in. And can regular users send invites to that channel? Can they invite other people?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so if you're already in the Discord, you can send out invites to anyone who asks, and let's get as many people as we can in there because there is no limit as far as we know. You can also email us at brotherscommonplace@gmail.com. Brotherscommon.place, the website domain, is up and running again and goes to our Spreaker page, I believe.
Yeah.
And Kev already mentioned Patreon. You can sign up there to support us directly, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, that really helps us out. It means the world to us that people are listening to the show and sharing it with their friends. And thank you to everyone that has left us reviews on iTunes. That really helps us out. And we want to be on charts again. I mean, we were for a little bit, but I don't know how any of it works.
We might not be on the charts, but we're on the hearts.
Yes, we are.
That is the best way to say it.
So thank you to everyone that's left us a review. And if you haven't yet, it would really be awesome if you would leave us one. I know it's annoying. It takes a little bit of time, but we would really appreciate it. And special shout out to everyone that is on our subreddit. I completely forgot that we had one. I was going through my homepage on the Reddit app, and I saw someone post something that said the juice was looking good on the loose. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm an admin here? And it was a Brothers Commonplace Reddit because I hadn't been on it in like a year. And someone just randomly put an OJ comic on there. So fuck yeah, thank you. Shout out to that person. Yeah, we'll try to get some more content or some more stuff going on there. And shout out to our Snapchat group, everyone on the Discord, hell yeah. Shout out to our Brooklyn boy, John. Fuck yeah, thanks, brother. And all the other good people that are listening. I think that's it for me. Australian Daniel and all of our good Australian listeners, you guys are awesome. Australia is definitely the fucking craziest group of our listeners. They always come in clutch with some badass stuff, and yeah, they just seem super cool. They seem like they'd be really fun people. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, we're almost in year 3 of the podcast. October 1st, we'll start our 3rd year, and I can't remember who mentioned it, but it is going to be the year of the kangaroo for us. That is going to be our year. So 3rd year of the podcast is officially the year of the kangaroo. I think it was Joe. Was it Joe in the Snapchat group that mentioned that?
I missed it, but that sounds fantastic. So, I'm completely on board.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, Toof, my good boy. My good sweet boy. Do you have some words of wisdom for these wonderful people?
You sounded like Bill Clinton right there. For these wonderful people.
I have nothing written down, so I'm going to come up with one off the top of the head.
Okay.
All right, I got it. So I was going through my old school porno VHS collection that I got. Wait, let me write down the title of this so I don't forget it. God, dude, if I leave this fucking note here and someone else finds it. All right, so I was going through my old school VHS porno collection that I haven't transferred over to DVD yet. And, I fucking was starting to feel a little rock in my pants, so, I fucking threw one of them on randomly, and I didn't look at the label of it, but I guess it's from my Andrew collection.
Oh, yeah.
I'm watching Andrew go to town on this fucking lady. I'm not touching myself to Andrew, because that's fucking gross. I'll just let my fucking rock in the underwear do all the work. But I noticed that Andrew's done getting his sloppy on with this bitch, and he turns her around to the camera, and it's my fucking grandma. And I realize that this is recorded recently and not one of my classics.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, I fucking realized that Andrew knew I was going to be fucking going through my collection, and he fucking filmed one real quick and put it in there. I should have known when I looked at the label on the VHS tape, stick my handy in Granny's fat fanny.
Oh, yes, baby.
You got me this time, Grandpa Andrew, but I ain't gonna fucking forget this one.
Hell yes. I was trying to think of a joke earlier. Not even a joke. I don't understand, but it's like, you know how elephants never forget? It was gonna be like a type of brother movie, but it's about an elephant that forgot 9/11.
Oh, wow.
But
Amy Schumer forgot about 9/11 in one of her stand-ups.
But I couldn't figure out how to get it to work. But alrighty, I think that's everything.
If he did forget, he got reminded yesterday.
Dude, what about George W. Bush being the elephant in the room?
What is the thing about Donald Trump lying about being at Ground Zero? What's that about?
Is it the one where he tried to buy land at Ground Zero?
No, I read something about he said like he was at Ground Zero, like trying to help or something, and then even firefighters were like, dude, you weren't fucking there, you liar.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he said he was at Ground Zero. I think he meant like I saw one where he tried to buy the land there. But yeah, he said during 9/11 he was actually at Ground Zero, but there's zero proof of it so far. At least I think so. God, now I have to look this shit up.
Imagine, this isn't funny, but it's so not funny. But I'm picturing him like running up and down like the building, carrying people out, saving them.
Oh my God.
Oh man, fuck yeah, Donald would do that.
Alrighty, thank you everyone for listening. Be good.
Stay safe.
Laugh at the dark stuff. Hashtag wild
man. Hell yeah.
Hashtag 30 pounds.
Fuck
Wait,
yeah.
Spencer, you say hashtag. Kevin, I'll do wild and you do man.
All right.
But do it very excitedly.
Hashtag
wild man. There we go. That sounds cool.
Hashtag
nice.
ass hive.
Oh, fuck.
What is that?
Yes.
I don't know how it started because I was asleep. I think what happened is Jess was making a magnet for something and it looked like ass hive, but that's not what it was. There was like numbers and then the word hive. And
I think it's A35.
So the group started saying hashtag asshive about stuff, and now it just became a thing. I missed it, but it's super funny. I kind of love it. So now everyone just says, dude, have you seen everyone's names in the Discord?
Just Alyssa's.
It's super funny. Oh yeah, I didn't know that Alyssa was the Patreon. Alyssa, I want to fist ya.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the name, I was like, oh fuck yeah, that's so funny. Hashtag thank you, Mark. Alrighty, we ready to end it?
Pretzel dog.
Oh fuck yeah.
Hashtag boy pussy.
Hell yes. Alrighty.
And hashtag real pussy.
And real quick, thank you to the Last Bandoleros, our Bash Brothers, for our closing song, just for also being rad as fuck and super cool dudes. And hashtag Australian Daniel, you sexy fuck. We love you, brother.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The Starlight Lounge presents An Evening with the Progressive Box.
Old moon, yeah. That's Hugo, tickling the ivories. He just saved by bundling home and auto with Progressive. Gonna finally buy a ring for that gal of yours, Hugo? Send her my condolences. Hi-oh! This next one's for you two. There's a burglar in my heart. Thank you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.